Because I'm going to be just playing.
Doing fine.
You know, after the
How do you see that?
After the age of 16, I no longer went to camp. During the school year, I attended the High School of Music and Art and studied the piano privately from an instructor at Juilliard. The furthest thing from my mind now is Jewish music. However, as fortune would have it, I had the opportunity to audition for a job at a hotel in the Catskill Mountains as a piano player in a trio. The agent who auditioned us was a man by the name of Aaron Toder. He placed the book on the piano, opened it to a certain page, and asked me to play the written music. As I struggled through it, he remarked that his 9-year-old daughter could play better than me. Well, another self-esteem issue. This very same Aaron Toder had an experience with Sheila, or I should say Sheila Schertzer had an experience with Aaron Toder that she told me about. She didn't expect me to say this. She was a singer in the Catskill Mountains, and she went with Aaron Toder, who was driving her up to the Catskill Mountains to do a show. Well, on the way up, he stopped at a hotel. Ooh, 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 ooh. And she said, "Why are we stopping?" He said, "Well, we have to rest." At any rate, that was the story, but this was, at any rate. Yes. Nevertheless, we got the job at the Teray Hotel in Harris, New York, earning a salary of $21.60 a week before taxes. The three of us slept in a room which we called the casino, in the room which we played. It had 2 beds, and so there were 3 of us, so once every 3 nights I slept alone. Now it turns out that the saxophone player was a huge guy, and so when I slept with him I had very little room. Now the drummer was kind of small, but he liked to sleep on the diagonal, so there was always a problem. Well, the book that I auditioned with that I couldn't play turned out to be a book of Jewish music called the Canaan Book. And in there, I learned to love music called Freiluchs and Schadisses, so I will now play a little bit, no singing, just play some of this music that became something that I really enjoy. Education did not end there. The following summer, we had a job at the West End Country Club, an Orthodox hotel in Sheldrick, New York. You know it?
Absolutely.
She lived there for 5 years.
Really, and yet again, Aaron Toda. Wow, Aaron Toda was our musical agent. Once, when we arrived late for a meeting when he was waiting for us, his remark to us when we finally got there brought back memories of Chaya Globin when he asked, and he said to us, "There you be, then I was." Well, it was at the West End Country Club that I learned the real meaning of orthodoxy. The very first day, we went in the dining room, the three of us, and we were ushered out quietly through the back. And I said, "Why are they asking us to leave?" Well, it turns out we were not wearing our yarmulkes. And so we had to put the yarmulkes on, and then we were allowed back in the dining room. And then one day after a meal, I went to the concession, and I asked the man for some ice cream. He looked at me as if I were committing a mortal sin. Of course, what I didn't realize is we just had a meat meal, and I was asking for dairy. At any rate, I was having a little trouble getting my yarmulke back on, okay? As it turned out, the waiters and busboy staff were these Hasidic and very Orthodox Jewish boys. And at 20 years old, they reminded me of some wise old men. There was Moshe and there was Willie. And one day Moshe sat down with me and he said, "We gotta teach you some Nagunim." I said, "What?" And he sat with me and in my ear he went, "Tai-di-di-di-di-di-dum, tai-di-di-di-di-di-dum, And we're almost at the end. Isn't that wonderful?
No.
Yes, it is. Okay, now it turns out that I'd like you to join me in some of the songs, sing-alongs, and you'll see it's in the book, Habeinu Shalom Aleichem, and Atza Alinu, Seina Seina, and on the back, Hava Nagila. Are you with me on this? Okay, so here we go.
Mazel tov.
Thank you very much. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's something else here. Where is it? There's the last piece of paper. Yes! I found it. And this I want to just say at the end that the perseverance of the Jewish spirit and the determination of the Jewish people to survive and prosper despite all adversity has manifested itself in the creation of the Jewish state, the state of Israel. And so I feel it would be fitting to close this show with the singing of the national anthem of Israel. So why don't we all rise?
Very good. Very good.